The transportation industry is one of the first sectors to feel the shockwaves of agricultural supply chain disruptions. Here's how these factors connect directly to logistics, freight, and overall transport operations. When agricultural supply chains falter, transportation networks are immediately tested. Trucking, rail, ocean freight, and air cargo all experience the downstream effects of scarcity, rerouting, and regional imbalance. Volatile freight demand. A poor harvest or regional export ban can suddenly shift global demand for freight. Carriers that once moved steady loads of grain or produce may face dry spells, while others experience overwhelming surges. This unpredictability makes it harder to plan capacity and pricing, forcing logistics companies to operate reactively instead of strategically. Route disruptions and longer lead times. Climate-related disasters, floods, droughts, or storms can damage infrastructure, close ports, or limit access to farming regions. Similarly, geopolitical tensions can make certain corridors unsafe or sanctioned, pushing freight through longer, costlier routes. Each detour adds time, fuel, and complexity to the supply chain. Rising operating costs. As agricultural commodities become harder to source, the cost of moving them climbs. Fuel prices, insurance premiums, and warehousing fees tend to go up during crises. Transportation companies find themselves squeezed between shippers who are unwilling to pay more and rising overhead costs that, honestly, erode profit margins. So let's talk about the shift toward regionalization. Global disruptions often push governments and corporations to shorten their supply chains. This trend toward nearshoring or regional agriculture logistics could really reshape how freight networks operate. With more emphasis on short-haul, cross-border, and intermodal transport within continental zones like North America or Europe. Now, equipment imbalances and backhaul gaps are another big challenge. When trade flows become lopsided, for example, fewer exports from one region but more imports into another, transport companies face equipment shortages or surpluses. Containers, trailers, and reefers may pile up where they're not needed, creating inefficiency and, well, lost revenue opportunities. Food security and policy pressure are also coming into play. As governments prioritize domestic food access, they may impose new export controls, tariffs, or transportation regulations. This can restrict freight flows and add layers of bureaucracy for carriers trying to move goods across borders. Looking ahead, a future built on adaptation is essential. For the transportation industry, agility will be key. Carriers that invest in data-driven forecasting, diversified routes, and flexible logistics models will be best equipped to survive and even thrive amid agricultural volatility. The era ahead will demand not just moving goods efficiently, but anticipating disruption before it happens, turning logistics into a proactive, strategic shield for global stability.